Dust motes danced in the slivers of moonlight, swirling in a slow, mesmerizing ballet. They pierced the boarded-up windows of the old ballroom, casting ethereal beams that illuminated the forgotten space. The air hung heavy, thick with the scent of decay and forgotten dreams, as if the room itself was holding its breath. A grand chandelier draped in cobwebs hung precariously from the water-stained ceiling, a ghostly relic of opulence. It was a skeletal reminder of the grandeur that once graced this forgotten space, a silent witness to countless evenings of elegance. The once polished wooden floor, now warped and groaning, hinted at countless waltzes danced beneath a forgotten moon, each step echoing through time.
It's incredible. The history here, you can almost feel it in the air. The scale of this room, it's like it has its own heartbeat, a pulse that resonates with the past.
Evelyn shivered, pulling her shawl tighter around her shoulders, as if trying to ward off the chill of forgotten memories. She was captivated by the sheer scale of the room, its vastness overwhelming yet strangely comforting. The ballroom seemed to pulse with an energy unseen, unheard, but undeniably felt, a silent symphony of the past.
The scent? It's like the perfume of forgotten stories, lingering in the air like a whisper. This place, Evelyn, it's where the veil between worlds thins, where the past and present intertwine.
Thomas, his camera bag slung over his shoulder, breathed in the scent of decay, a familiar aroma that spoke of history and mystery. He recognized it as the perfume of forgotten stories, the kind that whispered to him from the shadows, urging him to uncover their secrets. This, he knew, was a place where the veil between worlds thinned, where the echoes of the past could still be heard if one listened closely enough. Evelyn, a historian with a thirst for the past, had been drawn to the mansion's tragic tale. She spent countless hours poring over ancient texts and forgotten letters, piecing together the fragments of a story that had long been buried in the annals of time. Thomas, a photographer who specialized in capturing the unseen, was captivated by the prospect of documenting the ethereal beauty of the mansion. His lens had always sought the hidden, the mysterious, and the mansion promised to be his most haunting subject yet. They had come to the manor seeking not ghosts, but the story that clung to the very walls. The air was thick with history, and every creak of the floorboards seemed to whisper secrets of the past. The story of the cursed lovers' ball, a tale that had both fascinated and saddened many over the years.
Thomas, this is it. The place where Amelia and Victor plan to elope. Can you feel the weight of their dreams and despair in the air? The place where Amelia and Victor plan to elope. They had hoped to escape the constraints of their time, to find freedom in each other's arms. The story, it's so tragic. Their love was pure, but the world around them was not ready to accept it.
The mansion had stood for over a century, a silent sentinel to a love story cut tragically short. Its walls had witnessed joy, sorrow, and everything in between. A silent sentinel to a love story cut tragically short. Amelia and Victor's love was a beacon of hope that was extinguished too soon. Legend told of a young couple, Amelia and Victor, who had planned to elope during the grand ball held in this very room. Their plans were thwarted, their dreams shattered by the harsh realities of their time. Their love deemed unsuitable by their families. The disapproval was fierce and the consequences devastating. The story whispered of a broken heart, a desperate act, and a love that could not be contained by the bounds of life and death. And two souls forever entwined within these walls. Their presence felt in every shadow, every flicker of light.
A love story cut short, forever lingering in the shadows. It's haunting, Evelyn. The echoes of their love and loss are palpable, almost as if they are still here, waiting for their story to be told. Forever lingering in the shadows. It's haunting, Evelyn. The mansion is more than just a building. It's a monument to their undying love and the tragedy that befell them.
The gramophone was tucked away in a dusty corner, almost hidden by the shadows. It seemed forgotten, a relic of a time long past. It was a relic of a bygone era, its wooden casing scratched and dull. The once polished surface now bore the marks of countless years. As Thomas gently brushed away the dust, he felt a chill crawl down his spine. The air around him seemed to grow colder, as if the gramophone held secrets waiting to be unveiled. This, he sensed, was no ordinary antique. It was as if the gramophone was alive, holding on to memories and emotions from a time long forgotten. It was a vessel, an echo of a moment frozen in time. Each scratch and dent told a story, each groove on the record a whisper from the past.
Look at this, Evelyn. It's like it's waiting for us to listen, to uncover the stories it holds. It's like it's waiting for us to listen. The air around it seemed to hum with anticipation, as if the gramophone knew its moment had come.
Evelyn carefully lifted the needle, placing it on the dusty record. Her hands trembled slightly, the weight of the moment pressing down on her. A haunting melody, faint and scratchy, filled the air. It was as if the music had been waiting, trapped in the grooves of the record, yearning to be heard once more. It was a waltz, bittersweet and melancholic, each note a whisper from the past. The melody seemed to tell a story of love and loss, of moments that had slipped away. As they listened, the room seemed to shift, the shadows dancing with a life of their own. The walls seemed to fade away, replaced by the grandeur of a forgotten ballroom. The air grew heavy, thick with unspoken emotions. It was as if the room itself was alive, breathing in the music and exhaling memories. The music was more than just sound. It was a memory, a lament, a plea echoing through the years. Each note seemed to carry the weight of 1,000 unspoken words. It was a memory, a lament, a plea echoing through the years. The waltz seemed to wrap around them, pulling them into its haunting embrace.
Do you feel that, Thomas? It's like the music is speaking to us, telling us a story we can't quite understand. It's like the music is alive. Each note seems to pulse with energy, as if the gramophone itself is trying to communicate with us.
Evelyn felt a cold hand grip her wrist. She turned, her breath catching in her throat. There before her stood a young woman. Her dress, once vibrant, was now the color of aged parchment. Her eyes, wide and filled with a mixture of despair and longing, locked onto Evelyn's.
Amelia, is it really you?
It was Amelia. Her touch sent a jolt through Evelyn, a surge of energy that felt both alien and strangely familiar. Evelyn's vision blurred. She swayed, her own reflection in the dusty mirror replaced by Amelia's sorrowful gaze. The air crackled with unseen energy, the temperature plummeting as Amelia's spirit fully consumed her. Evelyn was no longer herself. She was a vessel, a conduit for a love story left unfinished.
Help me! Please help me find Victor!
Evelyn's voice was no longer her own, but a whisper from the past, a plea for a love lost to time. The gramophone shuddered, the music swelling as Thomas watched in horror.
Evelyn, no.
Evelyn, now possessed by Amelia, glided towards him, her hand outstretched. Her touch was icy, her grip surprisingly strong. He could feel the desperation radiating from her, the overwhelming sorrow that had clung to her for over a century.
What do you want?
They moved as one, Thomas and the spirit inhabiting Evelyn's body. It was a macabre waltz, a dance fueled by Amelia's desperate desire to reunite with her lost love.
This isn't right. I have to stop this.
Thomas fought against her grip, his heart pounding against his ribs. He knew he had to break Amelia's hold on Evelyn, but how could he fight against a love so strong, a grief so profound?
Evelyn, come back to me, please.
As the music reached its crescendo, Thomas understood. Amelia didn't need him to be Victor. She needed him to understand.
He loved you. He loved you with all his heart, and his love will never die.
His words, filled with compassion and understanding, seemed to echo through the room. The air shimmered, the grip on Thomas's hand loosened. Amelia's form flickered, her features softening as a wave of peace washed over her.
Thomas, what happened?
Evelyn's eyes fluttered open, confused and disoriented. The music sputtered, the needle scratching across the record as if time itself had skipped a beat. The silence that descended upon the ballroom was deafening. Thomas held Evelyn close, his heart pounding in his chest. He could feel the last vestiges of Amelia's presence fading, her sorrow dissipating like smoke on the wind.
Thomas, what happened?
Evelyn blinked, her gaze unfocused. She looked around the room, her brow furrowed in confusion.
It's all right. You're safe now.
Thomas smiled gently, relief flooding through him. His voice was a soothing balm to her frayed nerves. As dawn painted the sky in hues of rose and gold, they stepped out of the mansion. The once imposing structure now seemed smaller, somehow less menacing. The shadows had retreated, replaced by the soft light of a new day. The experience had changed them both. Evelyn, once a skeptic, now carried with her the weight of Amelia's story, a poignant reminder of the enduring power of love. Thomas, forever changed by his encounter with the spectral, knew that some stories, some loves, transcended even death itself. The cursed lovers' ball was no more. The mansion, once a place of sorrow and despair, now stood as a testament to the enduring power of love. And somewhere in the ethereal realm where spirits danced, Amelia and Victor were finally reunited, their love story given the ending it deserved. Evelyn and Thomas, forever bound by their shared experience, continued their journey, their lives forever intertwined with the haunting beauty of the last dance. They carried with them the memory of Amelia and Victor, a reminder that even in the face of tragedy, love could triumph, even if it took a lifetime or perhaps even an eternity to find its true ending. The sun, now fully risen, bathed the world in its warm glow. A new day had begun, filled with promise and possibility. And as Evelyn and Thomas walked away from the mansion, they knew that they too had been given a second chance, a chance to live, to love, and to cherish every precious moment. The experience at the mansion had been terrifying, life-altering, but ultimately it had been a testament to the power of love and sacrifice. They had helped a heartbroken spirit find peace. And in doing so, they had found a deeper understanding of their own connection, a bond forged in the heart of a haunting and the echo of a waltz.